Now this is my Zygopetalum, and it's maturing a new growth. No blooms yet, but yeah, I guess they need some colder temperatures than I can give them. Anyway, I'm gonna show you another one now. It's sitting right there, and it's maturing the growth as well. And again, no blooms. Now my Masdevallias, some of them are doing really great, like this one for example. It's really nice, and it's got a lot of new growth and everything. Some are not so happy, but still this one is recovering as well. And in general they're really, well, to me they seem to be quite easy plants. Well, I know I'm gonna speak heresy now, but in some regard they might be even easier than some complex phal hybrids, because when a phal hybrid loses its roots you wouldn't even see that for a long time, and when a Masdevalia has some problems with its roots, it would show it to you very quickly and very drastically. It would start losing leaves without any apparent reason, so you would definitely take some action. And you know, when the phal starts to dehydrate and die, it's often too late already. So yeah. So my Masdevallias are quite okay. I've even got one that is in bloom, despite the fact that it doesn't have all that many growths. So it bloomed with one bloom, then another one, then now it's got a third one. So yeah, it's quite happy to be here. And I've also recently bought some new plants and some new genera that I didn't grow before. And since you know that I really like Masdevallias, you should quite easily guess what one of those plants is. So let's look at it now. Do you know what it is? Well, it's actually a Dracula orchid. It's a Dracula erythrochaete. And it says gaskeliana as well. And I've placed it in the Vanda vase with some pebbles at the bottom and some water. I don't know if it really does anything, because the humidity in here isn't really that high, but it's better than anywhere else in the house, so I hope this provides some extra humidity. And this plant has been doing quite okay since I bought it. It's been growing a lot of new growths, as you can see, and some really good roots. And would you look at this? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a flower spike. And there's one here as well, and one here. And I could swear these weren't there when I bought this plant. So either this plant really likes it in here, or it's just some sign of stress or something like that, because they really weren't there when I bought it. And now, since it's still quite cold outside and I really want to place this plant outside as soon as possible, because humidity is much better outdoors, and the Draculas don't really bloom in lower humidity, well, as far as I've read. So I'm really hoping this plant will wait a little bit, because the nights are still quite cold. So yeah, that's this one. Now I have some new plants as well, and I didn't really make a video about them because, well, you know, whatever. And I bought some a Dracula, as you saw, and some Pleiones, but for some reason neither of them wants to bloom. They simply dried those buds off, and it seems like it's gonna happen to all of them, even this one. And those blooms were growing really nicely, especially this one. It was ready to open, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it might be because they are standing in here and it's quite sunny a lot of time, and it gets really hot in here, and I have to open the window, and it creates a draft really, because the air outside is still quite cold, and probably these plants didn't like that. Either that or the fact that it's too hot for them. But the leaves are okay, so well, at least I'm gonna have some growth this year. So this is not some good news. This is my Masdevalia zahlbrueckneri. It's a Equigenera plant. I bought it last summer, and like all Equigenera plants, it came bare root. So it was really dry because it's a small plant. Neither of those roots survived. And at first it was doing quite okay, but then it was attacked by a slug that ate the new growth off. And then it was recovering again, so it was trying to grow again, but then I had to move it indoors, and it suffered the same problems like all my other Masdevallias. So that's another blow to it. And then it seemed like it was recovering again, but then I had some problems with moldy media and stuff, and it seems like this plant doesn't have enough strength to survive, so I think I'm gonna lose it. Which is sad because it's a really nice miniature and I really like the blooms. But what can you do? Now this is my Dendrobium unicum. It finished blooming now and it's starting to grow a new growth. Please focus. Yeah, there's a new growth right there. So it's great. Now my Cymbidiums, the ones that have finished blooming already, they're starting to grow new growth, like this one. And this one is doing quite nicely. Now this one is growing in growth as well. Sorry for the sun. It's impossible to find a good day for filming now. But there is one that I'm beginning to hate this plant, because last year it had some buds and blasted them. The year before it didn't bloom at all. Now this year it had two flower spikes, and yeah, they both blasted. So, I mean, it still has buds, but I can tell it's going to blast it. It's not going to bloom. And it really annoys me because I haven't had blooms from this plant for quite a few years, and it's a big plant and I have to find space for it, and I have to feed it and everything, and even worse that this year it killed a few new growths on it. So I don't know what's wrong with this plant, and I don't know if I'm going to keep it any longer. I'm gonna try to repot it this spring, but if it doesn't bloom the next year, I'm probably going to give it to someone, because it's really not worth keeping plants that annoy you. So yeah, last chance for you. And a few more plants that you haven't seen before, because I haven't featured them in the video. And those are Disas. I bought two of them. That's Disa Unifoam. This one is supposed to be unifloral with a large bloom, and I was actually expecting it to bloom sooner than the other one, but as you can see, the other one is really ready. I just hope they don't blast like everything else does. And this other one is... it's a small flowered one with multiple blooms. And it's supposed to be pinkish. So yeah, I'm quite happy to see them. I really hope I can grow them successfully. But it's always nice to try new plants, especially when you really wanted them for quite a long time. And now you've got a chance to buy them, so it's really, really gorgeous. And do you know what these are? Well, if you remember my previous video, we planted them together. So these are Habenaria radiata, and they're growing quite slowly, but they're doing great. Now, they started sprouting about 2 weeks after planting the corms. So now it's 11th of April, so they really didn't grow as fast. But, well, they're about 1.5 centimeter long now. So I'm thinking that I will start fertilizing them maybe in a few weeks, or maybe less. And I'm also starting to think that I should do more frequent updates on them, because there is so little information about them on YouTube or on the internet in general. And I know that internet is quite a dangerous place when you're looking for information, because you can stumble upon videos made by people like me who are not experts in growing these, and you might think that, well, they're doing something right, even though that might not be true. But I'm thinking that, well, that every information is better than none, even if I'm not going to be successful at growing them. But yeah, so what do you think about it? Should I post more frequent videos on them, or shouldn't I do that? Let me know in the comments. So that's it, that's all I wanted to show you today. I'm gonna try to make more regular updates from now on. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.